Okay, so for the purposes of this video, I'm going to really over-exaggerate the human body changes that we're looking for. And when we're asking for nothing from our horse, it's very much lowering our energy, lowering our focus, lowering our intention, and at its sort of most exaggerated position, it's like this. So you can see that I'm looking down, very soft gaze down, belly button sort of hidden, shoulders, everything intentionally down, really low energy, and even cocking a leg. And when you're next to a horse and you do this, you start to signal, I'm actually not asking anything from you at this moment in time. And you can even get to a point where you're getting very, very small if the horse needs that from you. So it's very much trying some of this out with your horse and seeing what they need from you, adapting how exaggerated you are with your position, depending on how the horse reacts. So that is a position of, I'm really asking nothing. We're not asking anything at all. If you then decide, okay, I'm going to start to ask something in a moment, you can give effectively what is a bit like a half hold. So a bit of a signal to the horse, a bit of a prompt, I'm about to ask you to do something. And to do that, you would straighten your leg, you would look up, your intention would be where you were going, your belly button beam, if you like, would be pointing out, the energy in you is pointing and directing where you were about to ask the horse to go. And at that point, if you go from this to this, your horse will, something's about to be asked of me. They'll be waiting for what you're about to do. So you start off in this really relaxed position. I'm about to ask you to do something, and then if you stride out, you've got a really good chance of the horse striding out with you because you've given them that signal to say, I'm about to ask you to do something. So it's about your intention, your energy, your focus, belly button sort of shooting out, if you like, shoulders focusing, head focusing, and the eyes focusing. And without even realising, your heart rate will have increased at that point because you know your body is about to do something, and the horse will pick up on that as well. So asking the horse to go from a halt forward to a walk, this is where you're asking for nothing. I'm about to ask you to do something, and now we'll walk. And you should find that your horse comes with you. And it shouldn't be a drag, the horse should just step alongside of you. Similarly, if you're coming back from a walk to a halt, you do exactly the opposite. So you would slow things down, your energy would come down, and your gaze could soften. And your heart rate will come down as a result of that, and the horse will pick up on that and tune into you. So one of the things that we do a lot is about increasing and decreasing pace within perhaps the walk, for example. And it's using the same sorts of principles about your focus, your energy level, and your intention. And sort of demonstrating that through your own body language to the horse without necessarily having to use very much sort of pressure on the rope or the head collar. So increasing pace within the walk, it's about really lifting your shoulders up, really directing your energy forward, really focusing and giving a real intention about where you're heading. And if you want the horse to speed up, you will take a bigger stride and perhaps even over accentuate your walk. You might look a little silly to start with or feel a little silly, but actually your horse will tune into you. So if I take a few steps back and show you what that would look like, a normal walk, now a bigger walk, and you should find that your horse will tune into that. If at any point he doesn't or she doesn't, then what you can do is give a couple of little prompts, a couple of little reminders, like a check and soften on your head collar through the rope. But it's not about holding the rope or grabbing the horse and pressurising them into that pace. It's about saying, I've changed, I'm moving differently, I expect you to come with me. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that sort of position from the side, and I'm going to focus forward as if I'd got my horse to the side of me. So in terms of asking for nothing, the sort of position that we might be looking for, you can see that again, shoulders facing down, belly button sort of hidden, energy levels really through a soft gaze downwards, and that is, I'm asking nothing. Going through the position of I'm about to ask you something, you would lift your energy levels, focus out through your shoulders, through your chest, through your belly button, out to where you're heading, and you can see that the energy levels have come up. Everything's much more ready to go. There's energy sort of ready to go. And in terms of going in a smooth position from asking nothing, I'm about to ask you something, and now let's go, that's the sort of movement that we're looking for. So you can see that it's quite fluid. Asking nothing, about to ask you something, now let's go. Okay, so say that we're in the walk and we actually want to slow the pace down. We've talked about getting ready to go and going and lifting the energy within the walk, but there'll be time when we want to bring that energy back down again. And in order to do that, it's a sort of wind back, if you like, a little bit of what we've just been doing. So if we're in the walk, we've got our focus going out where we want it to be, our intention heading out, our belly button sort of energy level going straight out in front, and we're demonstrating the intention to the horse that we want to go forward. Actually, to say that we want to slow that down a little bit, you can see it's quite a subtle thing, but my shoulders are going down, my belly button is starting to hide a little bit, my energy levels are coming down, and even my gaze is softening a little bit. So if the horse was here, I would just be walking with a smaller stride and all of my energy levels would reduce. So if I show you those two things from the side, I'd be walking like this, and I would slow it down by lowering my energy, taking smaller strides and taking slower strides. And hopefully the horse would come back. If the horse didn't respond to that, again, you've got the opportunity to check and soften just by sort of going through like a gentle contact with the rope and the head collar. Just as a bit of a reminder, that's not the communication that we want, but it's just saying, hang on a minute, I changed, recognise that I changed. Okay, so the other thing that we do in our leading videos that's really important is being able to change direction of our horse without, again, having to rely on our head collar and our lead rope, but by sort of using our body communication with the horse as well. And we do that by turning our body and our intention and our energy in the same way as we've just done that, if you like, with the slowing down and the speeding up. So the change of direction is basically changing your focus, changing your energy and changing your intention to the direction that you want to go. And you do it when you're riding anyway. It's the same sort of principle in that I'm about to go over there. So you start by looking, then you turn your shoulders, and then you finally move in that direction. So you're demonstrating your intention from head down effectively. So if I come towards you, as if I'd got a horse on my side, I'm heading in this direction, I'm now about to go over there, my shoulders are now going to go over there, and now I'm going to walk over there, and hopefully the horse will come with me. Again, you've got the opportunity to check and soften, prompt with the head collar and the rope. If you are doing that, the principle is the same whether you're going into the horse, if the horse is on that side of you, or whether you're going away from the horse. Whichever side the horse is on, the principle is exactly the same in that you would give the focus first with your eyes, your intention and your head, then you'd follow that with your shoulders and the rest of your body, and then finally you would walk, you would actually move yourself in that direction. So the principle is the same either way, and it's the same no matter which side the horse is on in terms of your body. With all of these, it's really very much about how much your horse needs from you at that time. So if you're used to communicating in this way with your horse, and the horse is really, really tuned into your body language without having to sort of have second communication through the head collar, then actually some of your movements could be quite subtle. But if you're not used to doing this, and perhaps that's not how you've led your horse in the past, then actually you might need to start off with quite big movements and quite over-exaggerated movements to start with, which can then be toned down and gradually sort of minimised as your horse gets used to you and you get used to communicating to each other in this way. So to start with, a turn might be a really sort of obvious movement, and it might end up just being a slight look. As you sort of refine your communication with your horse. And that's for all of these body language movements.